Concerns on the impact of IT on privacy.
What is information technology? It is the use of systems, i.e. computers and telecommunication, for storing, retrieving, and sending information. What is privacy? It is the ability of an individual or a group to be concealed, hidden, or secluded. It is our belief that we should be very concerned about the impact of information technology on privacy. Our debate will focus on IT and its effects on consumer privacy, social media, and legalization, law enforcement, and national security. A recent study conducted by Pew Research Center says that 50% of people are worried about their information on the internet in 2013, which has grown from 33% in 2009. Another study looked at how concerned people are about the use of their personal information online. By looking at the information in the chart, it can be seen that only a small percentage of people are not concerned about how their personal information is being used online. This shows that there is a significant concern about privacy. Consumer privacy. IT is generating concern when it comes to protecting the privacy of the consumer. We will focus on the areas of online shopping, signing privacy policies, and the security measures companies are taking or not taking to protect consumer privacy. Online shopping is a growing trend in today's society, with more people taking advantage of the benefit of acquiring goods and services from the comfort of their own home. Statistics show that in South Africa, 51% of people who have access to the internet take part in online shopping, and this number is expected to grow. Another study shows that currently, 30% of the world's population participates in online shopping. However, many individuals in first world and developing countries are newly introduced to technology and are unaware of the risks it poses. Their inexperience and insufficient knowledge concerning IT are making identity theft when shopping online a dominant issue. People are also not properly educated about the security measures they should have in place and what information they should not release as to avoid identity theft. Many companies require customers to sign privacy policies. This could be when installing new software, agreeing to the terms and use of an online game, etc. Concerns arise because oftentimes these documents are full of hard-to-understand legal jargon, as well as being long and wordy. This leads to individuals being unsure of what they have permitted the company to do with their information, and for the most part, they are disillusioned and believe that their privacy is being protected. Once again, the consumer is unaware of the potential dangers this poses. Although some companies have measures in place to identify and protect private information, many still lack sufficient strategies in place to ensure customer information is secure from hackers. A 2013 survey revealed some interesting statistics. It found that 1 in 4 companies do not have a written information security policy in place, and 1 in 3 lack a data encryption policy to protect privacy. 19% of companies do not employ best practices in classifying their data. And finally, 33% of organizations lack a formal and documented crisis plan, and 1 in 5 don't have a plan at all. Information technology has led to the birth of a new type of crime, cybercrime. Recent years have seen companies suffer monetary losses and theft of information due to hackers. Criminals now have the tools to steal money and information while being hundreds of miles away. Companies without property security in place have suffered greatly, with 2 major examples being Target and Sony. 2013 saw the big box giant Target lose 40 million credit and debit card accounts, as well as the personal information, including names, phone numbers, email addresses, as well as personal addresses of 70 million customers. In April of 2011, a hacker successfully got through the security of Sony's PlayStation network, and the company suffered financial losses as a result. Social media. Webster's Online Dictionary defines social media as forms of electronic communication through which users create online communities to share information, ideas, personal messages, and other content. Without IT, social media would not exist. This highlights IT as a concern to privacy because social media companies such as Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat have access to an enormous amount of information on their users. Social media websites require individuals to register to use the virtual community and networks by providing personal information. Once information is added to the database, users have little control over it. Information on these websites is not all confidential, as it is shared with peers, advertisers, and developers. However, users are not fully aware how their data is being used and with whom it is being provided to. We can see various examples of how social media has affected privacy in a negative way. One example is to look at Facebook. One of the concerns with Facebook is that the information they collect on users has been used by third parties, and not many users are aware of this. A quote from Facebook's privacy policy reads that, "We use the information we receive about you in connection with the services and features we provide to you and other users like your friends, our partners, the advertisers that purchase ads on the site, and the developers that build the games, applications, and websites you use." This shows that Facebook does use user information and shares it with third parties, and this is definitely a major privacy concern. Another example is Twitter. Twitter has been affiliated with privacy concerns as well. In an article written in Yahoo News, it says that Twitter has clearly admitted that they access users' phone contacts by scanning their phones and storing their numbers and names in their database. Many people are unaware of this, and they may not be willing to share their phone book with companies like these. One more example is related to a company named Snapchat that saw hackers take usernames and passwords of almost 4.6 million people. Legalization, law enforcement, and national security. Over the past decades, rapid technological advances have made it easier for governments to expand surveillance on citizens. Through the use of IT, entry into private spaces is not necessary anymore, as remote intrusion is now a possibility. Hence, laws play an important role in affecting individuals' privacy with regards to IT. The laws passed by the federal or local governments can result in privacy infringement of citizens. A few examples of this can be seen in local bylaws by the Government of British Columbia, Bill C-13, as well as the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, or CISPA. The Government of British Columbia requires all businesses to collect customers' information and provide them to the local government by passing local bylaws. Bill C-13 brings immunity for personal information disclosure without a warrant. And finally, CISPA allows for the sharing of internet traffic information between the U.S. government and technology and manufacturing companies. Governments argue modern surveillance methods are used to protect people from criminals and terrorists. However, independent research shows that these methods have not been successful in preventing crimes or terrorist attacks. Hence, the trade-offs are much greater than the possible positive outcomes of mass surveillance by organizations such as the National Security Agency, or NSA. The NSA is one of the largest U.S. intelligence organizations which operates with the goal of collecting information on people around the world through the use of signals intelligence. Signals intelligence is defined as the branch of military intelligence concerned with the monitoring, interception, and interpretation of communication signals. The NSA gains access to these communication signals by collaborating with tech companies and providing them with funding accordingly. The NSA collects and aggregates data at a staggering rate of approximately 300 gigabytes a second. What that means is, in the time that it took me to present this slide to you, the NSA has collected about 12 terabytes of data. An example of this is the relationship between AT&T and the NSA. AT&T's internet traffic in San Francisco runs through fiber optic cables. Using a splitter, a complete copy of the internet traffic that AT&T receives is diverted onto a separate fiber optic cable, which is connected to a room controlled by the NSA. This room contains powerful computer equipment designed to analyze communications at high speed, and can be programmed to review and select out the contents and traffic patterns of communications according to user-defined rules. In conclusion, it is clear from analyzing consumer privacy, social media, and legalization, law enforcement, and national security that IT is making accessing our private information easier. The real question is privacy dead